every Saturday, damn near, we'd cook hamburgers for the customers and hot dogs for the customers. I had to run the grill.
It was fun.
So it was fun, and people had a good time. You got to know them. That's your customer relationship. That's how you're managing it. Right? But that just doesn't. That is something that was then. That is not happening near enough now because everybody wanted to turn this to an online transaction.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Old Guys No Shit podcast in Dealercast Studios, where we bring together decades of automotive knowledge all together in one place. Here's your host, Old Guys Who Know Shit.
Hey, what's going on, Dealercast Nation? I'm Jason Harris.
I'm Rob Budd.
And I'm Larry Bruce.
And this is the Old Guys That Know Shit podcast. And I guess we're those old guys.
And some days I know I am that guy. I
don't know who you calling old.
Hey, I'm actually kind of curious, guys. What was the age where you started to realize you're just a little older? Maybe was it just maybe you can't do the late night? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Those late night benders, or was it like
when my eyesight went that I needed readers? I mean, that happened.
What it was for you?
Right? Like, something's different here.
Right.
That was it.
That was it, right?
But I happened like at 50, so that wasn't that long ago.
No, but it did. It just happened quick, right?
Totally.
It was like, holy crap!
No,
I know.
No, yeah, I remember it excruciatingly because it was painful. But my kids played lacrosse, and I got out on the lacrosse field with them, and played a whole game, right? And I think I was 40, I was probably 53, 54 at that point. And the next day, I could damn near not move. I mean, there was stuff hurting on me that I hadn't hurt in a long. My entire body was jacked up. It was horrible. And I work out every day, so I was thinking, no, this can't be that bad. I mean, I'll be. When you play a sport, and you do it often, you move, you use muscles you stop that you don't use even when you're working out. I mean, I think I really love to get back into a sport, because I think you work out everything. Yep. It's better to be playing again. I'd like to get back into that, but it takes a lot of time.
I used to play a lot of basketball at noon, right? A lot of basketball up until I was 35, 37 years old. And all of a sudden one day, my legs don't work anymore. I mean, it just was
not at the level you were used to.
Yeah.
Yes, not at the level.
And that's an absolute fact.
You know what it was for me is my kid asked me to help him with his math homework one night. Oh, have you seen this, guys? By the way, they don't do math the same way anymore. Like it's entirely different. They're like, yeah, you got to divide this by this, and I'm like, well, what the hell is that? And he's like, well, you draw this line over here and you cross this. I'm like,
why?
I guess they changed the way they do math now. Granted, I think it is more efficient. I'm sure, but it's just I'm like, that was a moment for me where I'm like, holy crap, I'm old. My kids are actually doing something entirely different than the way I did it growing up. So that was it for me.
I've not seen that.
I haven't seen that either, but I know my times tables.
Right.
I bet most kids don't.
Well, they don't teach it.
They don't teach it.
They don't teach anymore, right?
No. Anyways. Hey,
that's why they can't make change.
They can't make change. Yes.
Wow.
There's some truth to that. Hey, everybody out there watching and listening, we appreciate you guys jumping on and joining us for today's podcast. I like this one. We're going to see how this one goes. If this is fun, you guys enjoy it, I'd like to kind of maybe turn this into a consistent series for us. But this one is then versus now.
Wow.
And the first one I wanted to kick off is the death of the Saturday morning meeting. Have you guys noticed this? I've noticed this, and I don't know exactly when it happened. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there are some great operators out there that you guys are still doing this and you're doing it successfully, but I'm saying as a larger part of our industry, I have seen this either change or almost completely go away. I'd love to get you guys.
So in the ad game, I remember coming up and doing direct mail sales, right, on the weekends, and you'd show
Oh,
up
yeah.
on Saturday morning, you bring donuts, you do the sales, and you're telling everybody.
You remember
how
the old
events
Hamlin
go.
Power and Reesma? Yeah.
But that, because of
Ladies and gentlemen,
events
please
have
take
gone away.
stock number 4577 off your list. It has been sold.
That's the event business. It's
That's
gone.
awesome.
It's
yeah,
gone. It's gone.
and that
That's
needs to
gone.
come back
Right.
in a
That was
big
what-
fat way.
That was what was going to be, because it was different, right? So guys are coming in to do an event. Okay, let's show up. Well, how does it work? And you give the instruction,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
That Saturday morning. Now,
And that,
they don't
and
do
the
those
meet- and
events
that's
anymore.
right. So the meeting that was required to execute on that event
Event.
has disappeared.
Right.
Maybe that's the reason why most of it's died off.
That's what we used to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
And now you don't do it any longer.
I mean, look. My first experience at a dealership, or my very first one, the one I can remember, right? I was about 9 years old, and my dad tells this story. He thinks it's funny because I'm in the car business. He's like, "Well, let me tell you when Jason really thought he was going to get into the car business." Right? 9 years old, we go to a Ford dealership because my dad wants to buy a new F-150, and there was a monster truck there, and there was a bouncy castle, and there was a freaking petting zoo, and there were hot dogs, and there was
We're going back to the dealership
Holy-
every weekend now.
Dude, this was. I'm like, this is the most amazing place in the entire. At 9 years old, all right. And my dad tells this story now because during that, probably a good solid year after that, when we would come the weekend time, and my dad would go, "Hey kids, what do you guys want to do?" Mine would be like, "I want to go to Don Chalmers Ford. That place kicks ass." Like,
One of our local dealers here always had a pig roast, right? And it was a customer, what is customer appreciation day, right?
Right.
And it was a big deal in town, and beer and pigs and music and everything. And I remember specifically looking forward to when their pig roast,
Pig roast was coming. Oh yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not enough. I mean, there is not enough events go on anymore.
Yep.
And they used to go on quite. I mean, we would cook every Saturday. Damn near we'd cook hamburgers for the customers and hot dogs for the customers. I had to run the grill.
It was fun.
So it was fun, and people had a good time. You got to know them. That's your customer relationship. That's how you're managing it.
Yep.
Right. But that just doesn't. That is something that was then. That is not happening near enough now because everybody wanted to turn this to an online transaction.
Exactly.
You're right. I mean, I like the last Saturday morning meeting that I got involved in with a good friend of mine, Bill, if you're watching, thanks. He said, "Can you come by and maybe just give him a few words, stuff like that?" Honestly, the meeting was more about just ripping on everybody and what they're not doing. And I'm like going, holy
That's
crap.
not a good one.
When
What
did
was that?
When did Saturday morning meetings change? Because I remember coming into them.
Pump you up. I'm here to pump you up.
What was that song?
Hans and Franz.
So, yeah, let's get your pump, and the owner or the GM comes in and he's got
Cash.
Oh yeah, it's this fucking.
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
you know what I mean? He's waving it, and everyone's like, I want it. Like it reminded me of that scene from Wolf on Wall Street when everyone was kind of going nuts. We're like, it's Saturday. Holy crap, it happened again. And like we're just like, my objective on every Saturday was how many of those $100 bills that were sitting in my GM's pocket I was gonna rip out of this pocket, right? I mean, it's just like. I don't know what happened, man. They changed.
All right, I gotta do it.
Okay, do it.
I'm not leaving. I've never had a mic to be able to do that in. I'm not leaving. Jordan, I'm doing you right now. I'm not leaving. I don't know if that was real or not, dude. And I got to meet that guy at Digital Dealer. Nice, super good dude. But
You have to tell for everybody who doesn't know the movie. You have to get
that's Wolf of Wall Street. That's when he was telling everybody he was going to go, and all this thing that happened, and then you see him stop. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Everybody goes wild. That's probably the greatest moment in that movie. There's a lot of funny parts about the movie, the yellow ludes and all the other stuff. But I mean, that was the greatest part of that meeting. There's certain sales meeting movies that you remember.
Yeah.
That's one of those I remember.
When I would do those meetings, direct mail sales, they worked the dealer always liked it because it was another entity coming from the outside in.
Well, maybe
That
that's
was-
what we need to do to bring it back.
Right.
We need to get some more of that happening.
That brought that excitement because, hey, man, we do this every weekend. These things get crazy, right? And you're going to be busy. And here's how I work. And I work as the greeter. And once they come in and register at the desk, then I'll either find you or some.
I'll give them a red balloon or a blue balloon.
I'll tell them. I will
heard
give
that.
them instructions that when you get ready to
The
make your
color of
best
their sheet,
deal,
right?
Yeah.
and you've made it, pull this check out, and they'll have to take another. Just okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last meeting, we would give the sales meetings in the second floor of the store. And one day, one of the sales managers we had got this really cool idea that he'd take the money and sprinkle it down the stairs. And everybody get crazy and go out to the... Dude, we had like 3 people fall down the stairs and get hurt. We had to stop that crap, man. That was a bad deal. that did not work out like we thought.
The rain. It's raining.
Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah.
It's slippery.
Yeah.
Right. No, because it was fun. And the Saturday morning meeting, I think, really
Yeah,
kicked
make the
off.
car business fun again. We need to have that hat.
Right.
This is make the car business fun again. That's a MCBFA. MCBFA. McSeema.
Okay,
That's not a good word.
That's going to be
No,
a
that's a
working
bad
title.
word.
We'll work on that. We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
on that
we're
one.
working on this. We're gonna have hats. It's gonna be big. We're gonna have some merch around this for sure.
Probably the guy that does that, then everything in the car business, if he does it, I'm going to do it, right? And so if one does it, it could come back. It should come back.
Yeah.
Because it built out that emotion, that part of the car business.
Make
that
the
was
car business fun again.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here for 8 hours, 9 hours. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have a good time doing it. It can be fun.
It's like, I mean, there's just so many ways we can do it fun. I mean, remember the money machines?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Let's get those things back in our showrooms. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I want to see something loud, or the Plinko boards. Remember the Plinko
Yeah.
boards? All right, you bought a car. Let's go over to the Plinko board and tell you what you'll get in the F&I box. Right? You know, it's just like, I just think there are things that, even though, yes, we used to do them then.
And they sound corny, but I don't care. They're fun.
They were fun.
Yeah.
It's still fun. All right.
Yeah.
So okay. I don't know if this was necessary. It was fun for me. My manager would put some fun stuff out there. Like, the first salesperson, all right, that would hold someone's hand and get into the back of a truck and jump up and down to show off the
that was a
independent
standing
suspension.
spiff at my store.
That was like, there you go, right? Like, I mean, come on, there's just this like, I think Saturday morning meetings set the stage for a day that was incredibly important.
Right.
And honestly, if you're out there watching and listening right now and you don't have a petting zoo, I'm sorry, but you're missing out.
Try it. It's good. It's cool. But yeah,
Jason, you could pet him.
yeah. Whoa!
Oh, sorry.
It's a family
I just went
show.
from PG to
Easy. Oh my!
NA.
I will say though that I've had some funny stunts. I mean I've seen people paint the bodies. Well, what was a blue genie? What was
the sexy blue genie from
Tobin
Dodge, right? Yeah.
Where do those dealerships still exist? I
Well,
mean,
Tobin Dodge is still there, but I don't think they do they don't dress up anymore.
We did the genie for a guy out in Reno.
Yeah.
Got the genie drunk, off back the truck. That we only did it twice.
Yeah.
That was the second time. And that was the last time.
I gotta tell you, I gotta get a hold of Debbie Ziegler and get that VHS tape. Hopefully they transferred it to digital. She probably won't give it to me, but it's got to get somewhere where the car business can see it. Lynn Hickey, Lynn Hickey, and Tom Park. Suspended in a van. Drinking crowd. Oh no, Jim has the tape. and
that was in Oklahoma City, wasn't it?
Yeah. Where they're suspended in a van, drinking crown, and they're
a crane lifted.
And you hear Tom say, "Well, Lynn, what do you got there?" I got a rocket launcher, and he's hammered. He's just hammered. Got a rocket launcher, and what are you going to do with that? You're going to blow that Ford up. And you see him Boom.
But you know, a lot of that also was
We need that video. That must
you
not
need to
die.
find it. You have
That
to find
must not die.
Good.
you know, radio was a big part of those promotions, right?
Oh, yeah.
Radio because
Well,
they
live
would-
spots. The
they
live
would do-
spots were awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Come on down. We're doing a remote here at Lynn Hickey Dodge where we're giving blah 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 blah. That you don't. We got away from that because we got into this, right?
Yes. I actually remember having one of those remote spots, and they had a stupid idea, and it was supposed to be every person that bought a car would just kind of grab the mic and say, "Hey, Mr. Donaldson, why'd you buy a car here?" Right? And we did this, and it was fun. It was quite successful. It's like we had this one time. I'm just gonna say he was a country boy. He was a country boy, and he had a very specific language that he used during the entire transaction. And so he's coming out, and they're on the remote. They literally stick him a, "Hey, Mr. Dickerson, why'd you buy a truck?" And he dead face looked. It's best fucking deal I've ever had. I mean, you saw the lady on the radio station just turn absolutely white.
no.
Going, "Oh, shit."
Gonna get an FCC ding for that one.
Yeah, promotions were
man.
great. They were a lot of fun, and they were part of the makeup of the car business. It was an emotional thing.
Yeah. So the promotions are definitely there. The Saturday morning meetings got to come back.
Yes.
Make this business fun. You want to get more people to want to come work. Make it fun to come work.
Make it
Make good money. May have a lot of fun. I mean, come on. What could be any better? I don't know.
You know what I mean? When that happened, of course, the radio is playing inside. Remember that? You'd have the radio.
Oh,
playing
yeah,
inside.
absolutely.
And every salesperson just lost their mind laughing. We were on the ground crying that he had just said on the radio for whatever thousands of people that only listen.
We used to do commercials that would show an event that we were having, and we'd have to shoot it at night because then we'd have the commercial running as we're having the event, right?
Oh, that's cool.
But it wasn't live, but we pretended like it was live, right?
Yeah.
Hey, come on down. It's 7:30 on a Saturday night down here, blah, 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 blah. And he got the thing running, and people would show up, man. They would come. They would, Theater of the Mind. We had a lot of fun.
Like then and now. So okay, guys. I got another then and now for you. BDC, AI, and robots are here.
Yeah.
Yes.
But are they better than Bob?
Well, which Bob
the
are you talking
sales
about?
Or Sally? Bob or Sally?
Bob,
It doesn't really matter, whatever.
Bob the sales guy.
So here's my debate. I'm debating the role
As Ziegler would put it, 10 car Tim. Are they better than 10 car Tim?
10 car Tim. No, but seriously, I'd love to get you guys' kind of thoughts then versus kind of now. Look, we didn't have this technology. Have we become too reliant on it? Love to get your thoughts.
I don't know if the technology has increased car deals. I mean, we were looking at a chart the other day, and they're not selling any more cars now than they have, or we all have dips of cyclical, but we haven't hit a year where we're 18 million units, new cars, right? We've hit 17, we've been at 15, we've been at 16. So there's still a finite amount of people in the United States, and it takes people to drive cars. So I don't think that
The collectively it hasn't.
No.
It hasn't helped the
I
dealership sell more cars, but it's got to help the salesperson sells more cars per salesperson. It has to.
Now that stat I have seen. Now I have seen it where, to your point, I understand. Like it's not going to fundamentally just increase the amount of cars we're selling nationally.
Right.
But I have seen where the balance of both people and technology. Now when it's in balance, I usually don't see any results, and they usually actually can make things worse. To be totally honest with you. But when it's balanced, the AI bots or the BDC, when there's a balance between them and the salespeople, then yes, I will see an overall just higher increase.
A jump per salesperson.
Instead of 10 car Timmy, he's 12 car Billy.
12 car, who's that guy? You're gonna have to we're gonna have to move. Realistically, 15 is the number that should be the minimum now.
The average.
That's the average.
That should be our
that should be your benchmark right now. You should be trying to get you have to get your salespeople to 15. If you don't get your salespeople to 15, you're not going to have quality salespeople. You're not going to be able to pay them. You don't have the margins. There's only so much money in the gross profit of the damn car, and I've got to have a percentage of it, but the guy who's selling it's got to make money too. Everybody's got to make money. Put it like Roscoe puts it, everybody's got to eat. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got to eat in this deal.
And how a new car cost ad dollar gets to $702.
Oh, that's just nuts. I don't know. I mean, I'm still waiting for NADA to come out and say, "Oh, well, we're sorry, we made a mistake on that." But they haven't.
What money are they throwing into that? What are they counting that?
You'd have to. I mean, you get it from NADA data. Just coming, it's free. I mean, I got it downloaded. I did not look at the makeup this time, but big part of it's digital. Here's the funny part about that. Is that in 19, I have to go back. I have the first one I ever pulled. And I want to say it's 1997, somewhere 8 in there. It's late 90s, right? Whatever it is.
Yep.
Direct mail was 10%.
Yep.
You know what it is now?
10%.
Yes. It's the only thing that hasn't changed.
Where it did change is from the TV and the radio is now all the digital stuff.
Right.
The thing that's totally died completely is
newspaper.
Print,
right? Newspaper print.
But the amount of money really hasn't changed. Guys aren't.
Well, no, they're spending more money. At 700, they're now the high
less cars.
Yeah, the high
spending the same money, selling less cars.
Well, the high in the mid 2000s, around 2005, was right at $8 billion. Total for dealers, ad spend, right? The last number I looked at halfway through 2024, which I think is the last NAD. I don't think 2024 is out. The end of 2024 is out, but it might be by now. And I haven't pulled it. But we were sitting at we were sitting at 7.6 billion. So we were headed towards, that mid March they were headed towards 8-9 billion, easy.
In retail ads.
And just in ad spend for the car dealer. Mm-hmm. So $8-9 billion, right?
Yep.
Well, and I think what it is what is the objective behind those dollars, right? I mean, look, when I first started in the car business, when my manager came by to ask me about my leads, really what he was asking me about the individuals I've had conversations with, right? Because that's what a lead was at that point. There wasn't, they're just, the only way that they became a lead, all right, was either I spoke with them on the phone or I shook their hand and talked to them, right? And then at some point in time, we went into this digital stage and we started counting all of these things that weren't conversations and calling them leads. Now I'm seeing the technology actually kind of go, it's almost like a trend. It's coming back around now, where really what I think the best operators and best dealers out there are doing right now is they're not measuring the amount of leads.
The connections.
They're measuring the amount of
conversations, connections, right.
And that's where I'm seeing versus then, there was a lot of training. I was given a lot of training about how to have a conversation and what things to ask and how to hold that conversation and to direct the conversation where I needed to go.
It became a buzzword.
It was important.
Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Well, that's what we always did, is have conversations. And now that's
what we did. But then I think we went through the digital age and we stopped having the conversations. And now we're coming back around now where, again, the conversation is the key.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, I've never counted anything other than a conversation. Yeah,
that's because you're a good operator.
Yeah, because
but I'm telling you, most of the guys out there listening and watching right now, they're not doing that.
I remember having literally knockdown drag out fights with Auto Trader over whether or not the impressions on a car and BDP looks meant a damn thing. And I can just say, if it doesn't have a name, an email address, and a mobile number, I don't care.
So Cars.com, I was living in Chicago at the time. Cars.com, Auto Trader came out with a new metric. A conversion. I said, well, a conversion in our world was that someone showed up at the dealership.
Yeah.
No. The conversion today is that they went from a search to a VDP. You mean that's the conversion then on the web? That's a conversion on a website that they went to. So
Yeah.
they started to micro manage terms, right? That meant something in the real world, and then they applied it to their world. Impression share. What's that mean, right? It means that if you're talking impression share, those digital guys have tricked you into talking digital share because there isn't a name associated with digital share. Nothing. No,
It's
name.
the impression share is completely made up.
It's cool. 100%.
No one really knows what.
No one. But it's a nice buzzword.
Oh, it sounds great.
Oh, I remember brand lift. You remember that?
Sure.
Oh,
All right.
what'd you do for me this week?
I got
Marketing
you.
agency. Well, we
45% brand lift.
we lifted your brand.
Yeah. Really?
To where?
How heavy was it?
Was it?
How many of you guys did it take? So like,
Took everyone. It took
Yeah.
everyone. That's why I charged you $20,000 this month.
is this like an Aggie? Is this like an Aggie land lift? Like one of you guys holds it and the other 63 of you pick it up? I don't understand. What is, it's so silly. I mean,
It used to be defined. You had tier 1, you had tier 2, you had tier 3. Tier 1 was the OEM, tier 2 were associations and groups, tier 3 was retail. Those lines have been blurred today because
It's true.
a lot of the tier 1 or tier 3 stuff really is tier 3 stuff because of how co-op
yeah.
Yes.
runs everything, right? And so the lines that were very distinguishable before are blurred today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, I mean, I would look.
Now.
I tell you that the dealer that the OEM figured out that they could spend half of the ad dollars
Right.
and co-op the dealer, and the dealer would pick up the other half.
Well,
Right.
that's why we
Well,
call
that's
that's why we call them the golden handcuffs.
Yeah, right. So that at the end of the day, they cut their budget in half
Yep.
and increased your budget 50%.
and then force you to remove any of your own
Own
personality.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it,
Yeah.
right?
Selling proposition.
We're all
People
gonna be-
don't even know what USPs are anymore.
Oh
What's that?
God! Don't. So and now we're gonna get into that's this and now, and we get into that in a minute for sure. But
Right?
let me go to this. It's funny because we talk about the OEMs. I go to this story. I used to do a lot of business with a guy in Houston. His name is Ernie Guzman. He's a good operator, and Ernie would tell me the story about the he was a minority dealer for General Motors. And so the General Motors guys love to come tell the minority dealers how to run a store. None of them ever run a store before, but they love to come tell you how to do it. And so they'd show up. One day they showed up at Ernie's store and he told them, "Hey, great, this all sounds very good." I mean, they handed him a book. He's got this nice little manual and he's telling me the story. He's like, and then I told him, he says, I told him, this is so great. I think we should all go have a big steak dinner. We're going up to Bob's in Dallas. Well, I don't know if we can all drive. No. We'll go up in my plane. You got a plane? Yeah. You know how to fly? Yeah. I got this book. Tell me all about how to fly a plane. And he said you should see the look on their face. They went, "Ooh." That's when you got the. That's the OEM. That's where the OEM just does so much to ruin their relationship with their dealers because they look for ways to push things off on them that they don't really know much. They don't want a partnership. They want a dictatorship. When they could have a partnership, it doesn't have to be that hard. It really doesn't. But that happens too often. But the co-op thing, that was literally I remember just looking at this going, wait a minute, you just told me you're going to cut your ad budget in half,
Oh, 100%.
throw the half at me, and then turn around and
Take my identity.
and get me
exactly.
to get me to spend more money on my advertising,
Which is for you.
actually for you.
Yep.
And we're going to remove all creativity.
Yeah.
all creativity. So, guys, there's no trunk monkeys anymore.
No.
Oh God, that was the greatest ever.
like where are the Badgers at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and those are just two that are coming up.
Sure, you don't need to go get your husband for that. I've seen your credit. I know you got the money.
Like, I mean, guys, these were so creative, and they articulated a fun message that showed value and implied experience and all this stuff, and then we bring these golden handcuffs out, and we just lose it.
I remember when they got rid of the word up, that they didn't. Oh, that's old. That's passe. You don't want that's so.
But that's what it is.
Right? Okay, right. And we let it happen.
Yeah.
It's a visitor now.
Yeah, or an inquiry.
Showroom visitor.
All right. Well, now we're getting a little woke.
Yeah. Stop it now.
We don't do this on that podcast.
Yeah.
Hey guys, look, I know we're at the end of our time today. I really like this. Hey, if you guys are out there watching like this and you like the then and
now
versus now stuff,
Give us a then and now. Give us one.
Yes, give us one.
One we
because-
missed.
Yeah, give us one. We'd love to jam it in, jam about it. And
Yeah, for sure.
If there's anybody out there that's watching and listening, and you know somebody that needs to hear some part of this, or can relate in some of these then versus nows, it means so much to us, and it's a big compliment when you guys share the show. We truly, truly appreciate when you guys do that. Guys, this was fun.
This was another good one.
Always a good time.
Enjoy it.
Always a good time. And if you'd like to watch more content like this, Rob, where
And this is an event. We'll have an event here all the time.
Yes.
Can we do a petting zoo next episode?
We can pen, you can
I don't know. It's getting out of hand.
We're not politically correct.
Not at all. No.
Yeah, there's no woke here. We don't do DEI.
No.
Hey, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate y'all. Everyone, have an amazing day. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Old Guys Know Shit podcast with your host, Old Guys Who Know Shit. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.
We've seen it all. Been around the block. Sold a few cars. And hit the clock. From radio ads to digital screens. From paper ledgers to machine-made dreams. We're the old guys that know shit. We watch the business change bit by bit. From ink on paper to AI's call. We've survived it all. Standing tall with the old guys. Yeah, we know shit. From the old ways to the new, we've seen it fit. Once you'd walk in and shake a hand. Now it's all apps and online plans. We traded flyers for digital ads. And social media made us all go mad. We're the old guys that know shit. We watch the business change bit by bit. From ink on paper to AI's call. We've survived it all. Standing tall with the old guys. Yeah, we know shit. From the old ways to the new, we've seen it fit. From car lots crowded with paper trails to platforms that never fail. We've learned the ropes, we've set the pace, and now we're surfing the digital space. We're the old guys that know shit. We watch the business change bit by bit. From ink on paper to AI's call. We've survived it all. Standing tall, we're the old guys. Yeah, we know shit. From the old ways to the new, we've seen it fit. So if you're a dealer, new or old, take a seat, let the stories unfold. We've got the wisdom, we've got the drive. The old guys that know shit still alive. Still alive.